Briar, the Restrained Hunger, is League of Legends' newest jungle champion. Her kit is full of unique, fun, counterplayable, and balanced abilities, and the League community has been completely buzzing about this new champion for her interesting art and design choice from the Riot team. No other reason whatsoever. Anyway, guys, what is up? Pope Zano here, back with another video. Today we are covering Briar, the new champion from League of Legends. And look, we're going to teach you how to play this champ in 10 minutes or less. There's a lot to get to with this champion. It's brand new, so we're going to go over the basics, and we're going to get you piloting this champion like a god. Alright, let's go.
Nice to meet you. I'm hungry. Briar.
Briar's passive is Crimson Curse. Briar gains increased healing based on her missing health, and her attacks and abilities apply a bleed for a short duration that stacks. The bleeds deal physical damage based on the number of stacks, and heals Briar for a percentage of the pre-mitigation damage. Also, Briar has no base health regen at all, and her abilities cost health to cast. Her Q is called Head Rush. Briar leaps to a target, stunning them for a short duration, dealing physical damage and reducing their armor. Briar will stop prioritizing champions if she casts this ability on a minion or monster during Blood Frenzy. Briar's W is Blood Frenzy or Snack Attack. Briar leaps to a target location and enters Blood Frenzy, self-taunting to the nearest enemy, prioritizing champions, for a short period of time. During Blood Frenzy, she gains attack speed, movement speed, and her attacks deal physical bonus damage around the main target. Briar can recast that ability to empower her next attack. That empowered attack deals kind of an execute damage and heals Briar for a large percentage of that damage dealt. Briar's E is Chilling Scream. She begins charging and removes Blood Frenzy, gathering energy. She gains damage reduction and restores HP. Upon release, depending on how long she charged up that Scream, it'll deal more damage and a slow. If she charges it up fully, she'll actually knock back enemies and deal a ton of bonus damage to enemies that hit a wall. Briar's ult is Certain Death. Briar kicks a Hemolith and flies to the target location of the champion that got hit, marking them as her prey. As she lands, she deals a large amount of physical damage to everything nearby and causes nearby enemies to flee. She then enters an empowered Blood Frenzy similar to her W, but she will pursue her prey until one of them dies, either her or her target. You can cancel this again using Q or E.
Scared ya.
Because Briar's so new and we're going to continue to learn more about the champion, I recommend going Skirmisher and Diver style items, similar to champions like Warwick, for example. I recommend going the green or blue jungle item. The green because it makes you a bit tankier in the skirmishes, and the blue because it gives you movement speed going through bushes, which has particular synergy with your W Berserk ability. For your core items, I recommend going Skirmisher and Fighter style items. Of course, it fits what Briar wants to do, auto attack and stay on top of opponents. Bork and Stridebreaker are excellent ways to do this, and I'm suspecting that these are going to be two staples on the champion. After that, you get to decide. You can go something like Death's Dance or Sterax for more sustain, or if you need to shred armor, Black Cleaver is a great option. There are probably a plethora of other items that Briar can go. Gore Drinker, Wit's End, Spirit Visage are all examples of these. However, we're going to have to theorycraft probably a little bit more, and it's also going to depend game to game to determine what is best on Briar. Next, I'm going to recommend two rune pages for you. First is the Lethal Tempo page, in which of course we take Lethal Tempo, and we go into Triumph, Alacrity, Last Stand, into the Sorcery Tree, where we go for the movement speed with Celerity and Water Walking. Another rune page that can work is really the same thing, except instead of Lethal Tempo, we take Press the Attack. Likewise, I want to point out in the mini rune section, we're going attack speed, adaptive force, and instead of going armor or magic resist, I think it's going to be better to take health, just due to her health costs on her abilities. Because Briar's so new, I'm going to show you an example full clear. In this case, we start with our W, and we want to smite the first camp very early. Reason being is because the second activation on our W actually deals execute style damage, and so it'll scale with the amount of missing HP that the camp has. Next, we pull the red and we actually finish it in the middle of our W so that we get the bonus movement speed as Briar gets activated towards the next camp, literally sprinting us over there. Next, approaching raptors, we want to use our E right away because it deals so much AoE and damage that we can CC the entire camp and then use our W on the big raptor in order to finish it off. Next, we want to use our Q to close the gap to wolves, and then E again, activating that W. Watch how low we can walk away from wolves because of how the bleed plus the jungle item plus the red buff is literally ticking down the wolves from about 130 HP. As we get blue buff quite low after using our abilities and auto attacks, we can start to drag it out just like this. And then we use that W AoE damage in order to finish the blue. Watch again how we can just start to walk away from Gromp super early because of those bleed stacks. Even though you're self-taunting during Briar's W, you can still use items like Stride Breaker to slow your enemies. You can use Briar's W to also get over a lot of walls. Mainly small walls, similar to what a lot of other champions can do. But you have to be careful because if there's an enemy that you can target close to the other side of the wall that you were coming from, you'll actually self-taunt yourself back that way. You can use Briar's ultimate not as a way to just engage on your primary target, but actually if you use your E to cancel the Berserk, you can then flash or Q past and go for a target that's even further back. You can also use Briar's W to dodge abilities. Because there's a short dash before the activation of the self-taunt, you can actually dodge to one side or the other and then run towards your opponent.
I'll savor this!
Pay attention to how far Briar's E can actually go. You can shove someone from the middle of the lane all the way into the wall.
You guys see that?
Don't underestimate Briar's W as a chase tool in order to get into Q range.
Nice.
And similar to Ashe Ultimate, you always have to be paying attention when you're down range from Briar.
Oh my god.
And that's Briar. If you guys enjoyed the champion and 10-minute guide this time around, please leave a like and a sub. Helps me make more videos. I'll be seeing you back with another champion next week. Pope out.